afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It has been a little bit. However, since obviously the ban list is round the corner for us, is actually this coming Saturday as of me recording this video, I decided in my infinite wisdom to actually make a ban list prediction of some cards that might go onto the ban list and some cards that actually, well, might possibly even come off the banners. As you can see, we have a fair amount to actually talk about, so I have put them into kind of sections, I would suppose. So obviously over here you have the characters, the events, leaders, as well as even some banned cards as well. Obviously it's like Gecko Mori, Kabaji, and a couple of others. You will see me talk about a multitude of these just to see what I think would go on and come off the list if anything were to actually come off the list as a whole. I'm going to go over all of them, tell you how I feel about them, tell you guys if I feel that they are good for the future of the game, and well, just see what happens from there. So let's start with the characters. Full cost Blue Pudding. This card is always one of the things that I believe that full cost pudding is a necessary evil, but I don't like it. Like, I like using it, but I like being put against it in a lot of, or I hate being put against it in a lot of instances. And it becomes a very problematic card for decks that draw a lot of cards, or just seem to have like very big bricky hands, or just very big hands in general. So it's one of these cards that I always feel like should be restricted. But a lot of the time, a lot of decks that do play pudding only play one or two anyway, so they're going to be either drawing into it or finding it through some awkward specific means. So I think realistically, if you are going to do anything about pudding as a card, because it is going to also stick around for a while, it is OP5, it's going to stick around for at least another 3 or 4 years, so it's going to be a little bit wild. I think you should just ban it. And honestly, the worst part is the fact that UP Luffy, who is also on this list, it's blue, and for UP Luffy to have like 7 to like 10 cards in hand to then play pudding and put you down to 5 while they have like a 6k, a 7k, and multiple high K swings, it's just a kick in the teeth. And it's not really that fun to use or to play against, mind you. And then that moves on to another card that a lot of people don't really like going against. That's full cost Karasu. I think it's fine. I think Karasu as a card is absolutely strong. I think it's incredibly strong as a card, but I don't think it's one of these things that is bannable or even restricted, because only like a handful of leaders can use it in the sense of the on-play effect. The when attacking effect is generic, I would suppose. However, you are in most other decks that are not Rev Army, so literally either not Betty, Sabo, or Sabo. It's not that bad of a card because not a lot of decks can use it, but it is a very strong card nonetheless, and it is one of the few cards that helps keep UP Luffy in check, because obviously UP Luffy is a 6k leader, Karasu minus is 1, and obviously is stacked, so it essentially turns the tides into an equal footing if you need to. Hodi Jones. Hodi Jones is one of these weird cards that I hate it. I hate Hodi Jones. It always seems to be that green top deck this card when they fucking need it, and it's definitely an annoyance. However, I don't think the card is absurdly strong in the sense of I don't think it's bannable. I think you honestly just leave it alone. When it comes to the rotation, more specifically, less about the power of the card, green loses a lot of their power play, so it loses 8 cost Kid, it also loses 10 drop Doffy. So 2 really ubiquitous cards in green. They lose them, and it's become a bit of a pain in the neck for green to, if it, like, green already struggles without sticking them, so Hodi staying around, as much as I don't like it, I think it's fine. Black Maria. Black Maria is one of these weird cards that a lot of people have been wanting to be like banned or restricted for a long time, but there's only been one deck that's really used it to its fullest advantage, and well, we never got that deck here in the West, in the sense of Red Purple Law got banned before Black Maria's release, but even then Red Purple Law was absolutely a fucking monster without it. And it's also one of these things that, like, the decks that can use it, so like Black Purple Luffy and Reiju and a handful of other very rogue decks like King, I think the card isn't as crazy, but obviously it's also small as well. A lot of decks can get rid of it fairly easily, whether it be blue with 3000 worlds, Marco with pretty much anything, red with Fire Fist or something along those lines. The card's really small, but it's really strong, but I don't think it's as crazy as people make it out to be. There is one thing that does make me a little bit concerned, is the future, more specifically about OP13 Roger. I am aware that 10 cost Roger negates all effects of other characters that are not Roger pirates. However, that doesn't stop people from playing cards that are not just useful in the deck as a whole. So I'm honestly a little bit unsure as to where Black Maria lies as a whole. 9-cost Lin. Ban it. Get it gone. Get it to fuck. Get it gone. It's one of these cards where I think the card is wild. The card does so much. You shouldn't have given purple life gain. The fuck? That's one of these weirdest things that purple ever got, in the sense of it's like, obviously it was originally released for pudding, but now it's just completely fucking different. It's used in pudding, but it's a lot better in something like UP Luffy for its grind game. It's a lot better in purple Luffy, because obviously both of the decks I just mentioned also have access to purple Katakuri, which obviously if you have both of them on the field, you can swing with both of them. At the end step, purple cat allows you to restand itself and the 9-mom and ramp you a Don. So I think purple cat is a very big card, it's a very strong card, but I don't think purple should have had removal, life gain, and a big body in one fucking go. It's absolutely wild. Gum Red Rock. This is another card where I thought was for the longest time just a massive fuck you, because Rygo or Kingdom Come got banned for, obviously in the last list, but obviously Rygo was significantly stronger in the sense of the decks that could use it, being Enel and Black Yellow Luffy. They were going fucking wild with it, so it's one of these cards. But the thing is, Gum Red Rock's likely to be left alone because it's also a block 1 card. It's not going to be around forever unless they reprint it and say, oh, this card is eligible for the block that is post-rotation, like they did with a handful of cards recently. I think it was like Bonnie, You Could Be My Samurai, and a handful of others that were on that list. But I don't think this card will stick around after rotation. I don't think they'll allow it to stick. You're the One Who Should Disappear is one of these cards that I am very biased against. I've always hated this card. I've never liked it. It's like Beige in life. It always feels like such a sacky fucking card, because unlike in most other card games where you have to discard to activate the effect if it's written like it, One Piece, if you don't have the card to discard, you don't have to. It's not fun. I've always thought this card was ban worthy, and I still stick by it, because obviously you can play through it, you can also play around it if your opponent puts it there for whatever reason. I do, however, believe that the fact that it is a counter event and the main deck that uses it, being Enel, gains 2 life with it, it's absolutely fucking bonkers. Yeah, fuck that card. Gum Giant, like You're the One Who Should Disappear, get it to fuck. It's one of these cards that I genuinely believe does so much for like absolutely no cost whatsoever. A lot of the time, you, like in the case of Black Purple Luffy, which is one of the decks I play, if I have a Beer Luffy on field and I'm sat at 7k, I shouldn't be able to tap 1 Don and counter out of an 11k swing for essentially what is like 2 cards. It's not very good for like my opponent, but it's also absolutely fucking wild for me, and I don't think that card's very healthy for the game. Get it to fuck, but the problem is they announced the SP reprint for it in PRV2, so I'm very much unsure. Merrygo is one of these cards that I saw a lot of people wanting banned, but I'm honestly unsure of it, because I don't go against a lot of GP Luffy all that much, and when I have, it's never been such a problem other than like with the cost increase. The only thing that I do think is kind of wild is that it does replace itself, in the sense that obviously on play you draw a card and then you can give something a +2 cost. I do think the card is very, very strong, and it could be restricted realistically, but it also can be left alone. I am personally more entitled to put it in restricted, because the times that my opponent has seen it, it has really helped them out in a lot of instances. UP Luffy. This card, like Gum Giant and all the other ban event cards, get it gone. It's absolutely wild. I don't think Bandai thought this card through, in the sense of it is a dual color leader with 6k power, and then you have one of the most strongest colors currently in the meta, being purple. You can ramp up to its leader effect in like 2 or 3 turns, and considering the fact that we got Gear 2 alongside it, as well as a couple of other cards in previous sets like Bonclay and Zorojuro, I don't think this leader should have been printed at all. Like, the fact that it messes with the mass a lot of the time, it's definitely a deck I don't like playing against. I think the deck is very brain dead. It's not fun to play, and it's not fun to play against. Now we're going on to the cards that could be unbanned as a possible, very big possible could be. And we are going to start with one of the most ubiquitous leaders that has been released in recent memory. Black Blue Sakazuki. No, leave it as is. Black Blue Sakazuki is absolutely fucking wild, and with the fact that Black has only gotten better and better with time, and obviously with a lot of cards that came out after Sakazuki's ban, being Finger Pistol, Tempest Kick, as well as cards like 7-cost Jack, Kaido, Jackbeard, as well as a handful of others. This leader can't come back. It's absolutely fucking wild. And with the fact that Red Rock was also a card, Raging Tiger as well, is absolutely crazy with this card. It absolutely fucking not. It's really, really strong, and I don't think this card can ever come back, really. Gecko Mori. It's going to be left alone. It's going to be left banned, and the sole reason is that in PRB2 they gave us one. They essentially gave us an errata in the form of the 6-drop retrain, so it's going to be left as is. Kabaji. Oh, this is definitely something. I don't know a lot about pre-ban list Nami, or just like no ban list Nami as a whole, but a lot of the time I have seen like Kabaji do put in work. But I think it's one of these cards where I think I'm more unsure of it over anything else. And I'm unsure. Great Eruption. It's going to be left alone. We have Tempest Kick. Tempest Kick is essentially Great Eruption, but very much more balanced. Like Ice Age as well. It's going to be left as is. The fact that 1 cost minus 5k was there, and it was absolutely fucking wild for the longest time, and a lot of decks used it. It showed. Moby Dick. I'm biased towards this card. I'm biased towards the Whitebeard Pirates as a whole. I like Marco. I like Ace. I like Whitebeard. But this card can come here. I think this card's fine within reason, but I think this card's more funny. Will it come off? No. This is like the definition of hopium, in my opinion. I want this card to come back, but it's definitely a hopium pick. But yeah, that is what I think will come of the ban list. And, well, if any of these cards are on the ban list, and if I'm right on any of them, absolutely wonderful. If not, it is what it is, because they're trying to prep us for OP12 and the eventual OP13 as well. So, that is all from me, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your ban list predictions and cards that you dislike as much as something like 4-cost Pudding, Lin Lin, and so many other different cards. Anyway, that'll be all from me. Have a good one, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later.